Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Brad and this is Trail Recon. And on this series of videos for Project XJ Overland, my teenage boys and I have been taking our stock 1999 Jeep Cherokee Sport and transforming it into an overland rig that they can use when we go and hitting trails. Man, it's been so much fun working on it and watching it transform. We've done so much work to it so far, but we've still got a lot to do. And on today's video, we're gonna install a new exhaust that Magnaflow sent us. This is gonna be really nice. We're gonna trim the fenders and get rid of our rubbing issue. But let me talk about this exhaust, guys. This thing, it's beautiful. I mean, this is a stainless steel exhaust by Magnaflow. This is specifically made for the 1996 to 2000 Jeep Cherokees. It's got a flow-through exhaust system. It's mandrel belt. It's stainless steel, which is going to be really nice because ours is, man, our current one's terrible. It's all rusted out. It's rattling. I've got exhaust leaks in there. So having this is going to be so much better quality. Plus, it's got this beautiful exhaust tip, which hopefully my boys can keep nice when we're out on the trail and not bang it up too much because it's really nice. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this sounds. Man, it's just gonna have nice little gurgle to it and really sound cool and hopefully be nice and quiet when we're on the road going for long trips. Now, let me go round up my son and let's get started. Now you can see we've had some fitment issues with our old exhaust after we installed our lift kit, so we're gonna address this today by replacing the rear hanger. First order of business was to jack up the rear and start removing all the rusty bolts. Pulling the muffler out of that rubber exhaust hanger can sometimes be a challenge, but you know what? A little WD-40 and a good screwdriver and that thing came right out with no problems. And even though our muffler has been rattling around, she did require a little proper motivation to come off. So you can see here, this was probably the source of our exhaust leak. What a mangled, rusty mess. It's going to be really nice to replace this.
Hold on. You got it? Yep. And now just lift it up. Slide it down. You got it? Alright, I got it. Come on.
Here's a little side-by-side comparison of our old exhaust and the new Magnaflow exhaust tip. Man, it's so nice. It's going to really add a nice little style touch to the XJ. Let me just take a moment and say, spending time with your kids in the garage is always a great way to spend a couple hours. Working together to figure things out and to teach a few basic skills along the way is just good bonding time. The XJ is turning out to be a really awesome project, but it's really been the journey building it with them that has really been the most important part for me. Anytime you install a new exhaust system, you want to really loosely fit everything up before you tighten everything down. You know, my son and I were laughing that everything that we've done so far on Project XJ Overland that's been simple has ended up being difficult. And exhaust hangers are usually a really big pain, but you know what? We didn't have any problems, which was great.
One more lube? Where's it going?
It's like halfway in.
Okay. There you go.
We removed the old hanger by applying a good amount of lube to the rusted bolts, and then we just cut the rubber piece to get access to those bolts. Pretty straightforward. We purchased two different types of hangers at our local parts store for very cheap to see which one would kind of work best. We initially tried the rubber strap one, but it's just too loose and it actually allowed the exhaust to rattle around way too much. So we ended up going with the metal drop-down bracket, which has just a small amount of rubber to control vibration. We cut a few inches off, and then we used an L bracket that actually came with the other mount, and that just worked out perfectly. This thing aligns up great, it clears our drop-down shackle, and it's firm now, so we're not going to get a whole lot of rattling around like we did with the old one. With everything lined up, then we went through and just tightened everything down, and man, this stainless steel, it just looks so much nicer. Now it's time to get it started up. So here's how our old exhaust sounded, and honestly the audio just doesn't do it justice, especially inside the vehicle. It was just a terrible, awful sound driving down the road. The new tone of the exhaust is so nice. We really love how it sounds. Our next order of business is to trim these fenders because this rubbing has been a problem ever since we installed these larger tires. It's time to get this fixed. Now removing the fender flare is pretty easy. It's just a screw under the bottom and then it just pops right off the top. And then there's a bunch of Christmas tree plugs that just have to come out, and they come out really easy.
Fling it at me.
I said I think it will come
Come on, you said you were gonna do it.
Oh, right, so I have to take that bolt off.
Oh yeah.
Not.
Pull that out. Sure you got it this time?
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure. Oh, rip it. This should just pop out.
We'll have to like push it in. Get it like over the.
Well, try not to perfect. I mean, we might end up just white outlining from there or something. Maybe.
So it's not very flexible though.
There you go. Yeah.
Now we taped up the area where we were going to be cutting, and our plan was to take about an inch off. So this allowed us to kind of draw our lines and mark it. Plus it will limit any of the paint flaking off when we're cutting. I'm not gonna lie, anytime you take a cutting wheel to your vehicle and start chopping it up, it always makes me feel a little nervous because it's tough to undo this kind of stuff. But we took our time, we cut it off, and it worked out really well. Now I grinded it all down, used a file to get rid of any sharp edges, and then went ahead and reinstalled the fender. Now I didn't know if this was going to work. I didn't know if it was going to be flexible enough to bend back a full inch that we had just cut off, but guess what? It worked, guys. It was perfect. So I need you to press two ways. I need you to press in and then this way, okay? It's got to come in and that way, and then I'm going to tap it right on the bottom right here. So as far as you can, push it as far as you can. You got it? Mm-hmm. Okay, let go. It works. All right, let's put the tire on there and see how it does. We were both very excited that that worked out. Now, Jordan, he's in charge of the passenger side. And I gotta tell you, he did a great job. He took his time and he did it right, and it also turned out perfectly, just like the other side. And finally, we can rotate our steering wheel fully in both directions, and we're not rubbing. This is great. This means we're ready to go off-road. So our next order of business, well, let's go find a rock and see if we can articulate it. So this is actually the first time that we've tried to flex the suspension since we installed it. And I probably should have disconnected the sway bar links to give us a little more articulation. I just didn't think about it at the time. But check out that tire spin, guys. Yep, we don't have lockers, and so we got losing a little bit of traction. So that's definitely on our future upgrade to do. My son and I were grinning ear to ear seeing Project XJ Overland all flexed out. You know, this is the first time that we've kind of done this, and everything cleared. The rear, it was a little narrow, but we got clearance, guys. It's just cool to see it like this. She's definitely ready to start hitting the trail now, which is something that we have been dying to do. So guys, it has now been a full week since we installed that exhaust, and I have to tell you, man, we love it. It's so awesome. I mean, not only is it stainless steel and we don't have to worry about the rust, but when we hit the road and we were out on the freeway, we were like, oh my gosh, it's so much quieter than our old system, because that thing was leaking and it was rattling, it was terrible, and this new one is just so nice. I mean, we were like, wow, it's so quiet. And you know, on the outside, it's not obnoxious, but when you step on the gas, you get a little rumble, which is really awesome. So we really want to thank Magnaflow for helping us out with this build. It's really humbling that they've come on board and sponsored this, this project. And hey, look, the fenders, man, what a big deal that is for us. To be able to only have to trim those a little bit and to extend it out, man, that means we don't have to buy fenders right now, and that saved us about $400. Now, we may buy new fenders down the road, but we don't have to do it right now, and I'm actually pretty happy with how that turned out. Now we've got full steering and we've got some good articulation. I think we'll keep it this way for a while. We'll see how that goes. Now, let me tell you where we're at with the budget, guys. Today, we were at $8,009. The exhaust, while it was provided to us by Magnaflow, we still keep a full tally of how much everything costs. and that's $470, and I will leave a link in the description if you want to go check that out. The hanger was $4, and cutting the fenders, well, that was my 4 favorite letters, which is FREE. Didn't cost anything. So our new total is $8,483, which is awesome. I'm very happy with where we're at in the build process. We've still got a lot more to do, but now we can take it out and hit the trail. We're trail worthy. I'm gonna turn the keys over to the boys, and we're gonna go do a trail run, and we're gonna make sure we film that and share that with you. We're really excited to finally get this thing out there, and I know my boys are really excited to, get out there and drive this thing. Oh, they put so much hard work into there, and I'm really excited for them. Now, for my XJ owners, I got a question for you guys. I've got 2 handheld radios back here. I've got my ham and I've got my CB, and yes, I am a licensed ham operator. If you have a hard-mounted radio in your XJ, where did you put it? And do you like it there? I'd like to know from you. I've been doing a little research. I've been trying to figure out where to put it, but I just want to know from you guys, where did you mount it, and is that someplace that you're happy with? Let me know. And hey, if you're visiting this channel for the first time, man, this is now our 10th video in Project XJ Overland. And if you like this video, you'll love the entire playlist, so go check that out. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, man, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you as a member of the Trail Recon team. And until next time, we'll see you out on the trail.